Sunshine and rain. Joy. Joy Reid. Joy Reid. I've been meaning to get to Joy Reid, but there's been so many things that's been happening. Trump cabinet picks and AOC, which she joined Joy Reid's program, so we're going to go into that next. We're not going to be done with her. Joy Reid. You ain't no killer, J. Reid. You ain't no cop, J. Reid. Where I get that from? Y'all ever seen that? You ain't no cop, J. Reid. That was LL Cool J and In Too Deep. I'm a movie guy, all right? So J. Reid always and have forever been saying some of the wildest things on the internet. This is her holding accountable people of color, including Latino voters, after Trump won the election. Check it out.
And good evening, everyone. This is our first chance to be together one-on-one since the election. So I wanted to begin tonight with an acknowledgement of our new reality. Millions of Americans woke up Tuesday morning full of hope and joy, anticipating the election, finally, of America's first woman president. They put their faith in Vice President Kamala Harris to deliver not just the star-studded joy and the power of the culture from Beyonce to Taylor to basically every star in Hollywood, plus the many memes and incredible digital content, but also the change that could make this multicultural democracy real and accessible and affordable to everyone. I mean, money for elder care and small businesses and child tax credits, what?
Does Joy even look believable to you guys? She started off this monologue talking about celebrities. Talk about being so disconnected from what people are really dealing with in their everyday lives. Do we care about Beyonce and Taylor Swift? And now that we know, I heard that Al Sharpton got $500,000. I meant to bring him to the front of the congregation. I'm going to talk about him. I'm going to talk about Al Sharpton on the Anton Daniels channel. And we might even discuss this on After Hours tonight. These people got paid to be friends. Kamala Harris was buying friendships. And the memes and the TikToks and the Taylor Reids and the Taylor Swifts and the Beyoncés and the Kelly Rowlands, they so far removed from the fact that people can't even pay their bills and they getting their cars repossessed, bro.
But that is obviously not what happened. Instead, knowing all that we know about Donald Trump, his vulgarity and venality, his 34 felony counts and adjudicated sexual abuse of E. Jean Carroll, and so many other women he preyed on, his buddy-buddy relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, his theft of classified documents, his fealty to Vladimir Putin, and that attempted coup. Despite all of that, a majority of American voters actively chose him over her. Women all over this country know what it feels like to be the far more qualified woman who loses the job to mediocre or underqualified men. Black women.
Now think about this for a second, guys. It always comes down to misogyny. Black women all over the country know what it means to actually lose the job to underqualified men. This is the type of thing that won't get you hired. This is the type of rhetoric that won't get you hired.
Doubly so. And people are rightfully depressed and scared. The Republican Party has made it clear they're not mad at the whole Nazi thing. They actually find some of the ideas, mass deportation, internment camps, white Christian nationalism, to be kind of okay. And autocracy definitely feels imminent. This era is especially frightening if you're a woman or black or gay or bi or trans or in an immigrant or in a mixed status family. And that danger is not in your head. And even in a normal time, when an election goes sideways, it is tempting to feel kind of dumb for having ever believed that the change you dreamed of was possible at all. I mean, who were we to believe that America would ever elect a woman, let alone a black and Asian woman as its president? I mean, sure, Mexico just did it, but not us. We're America. We don't do these things. But it is not crazy or dumb to believe in the possibilities of America. Millions of people all around the world do too. My parents did. That's why they, like so many immigrants, including Kamala Harris's parents, came here
Joy Reid's parents is not even from America. Joy Reid's parents are not even from America. Now, that's not a bad thing, but I would like to know if they even came here legally. I would love to know, just in the sake of transparency. You know, we was having a conversation on After Hours yesterday, and in that conversation, we were qualifying whether or not Quentin was actually right about something that we had talked about previously. And we started to deep dive into a conversation about transparency. And, you know, I said that it's a difficult thing to master, but it's something that's absolutely needed. It's a difficult thing to master, but it's something that's absolutely needed. Well, why? Because transparency absolutely validates whether the person that's given the information is qualified. Not whether the information is right, but if it's qualified, that they qualify to even be talking to you in the same room. And so it's funny because I see so many people having rhetoric and narratives, and they got an opinion and they telling other people what to do. But I always wonder, hey, who are you and do you qualify? And so somebody in the chat, they said, Anton, you know, you like to show off and stuff. And I said, no, I like to show out. And it's a difference because, see, if I didn't show my numbers and if I didn't show my bank account and if you didn't know my wife and you didn't know that I was a family man and if you didn't know that I didn't have children out of wedlock, then 90% of the things that I would say would be invalid, because how can I be running a show that says the Millionaire Morning Show if I'm not a millionaire? How can I be giving you advice on how to be successfully married if I've never been married? How can I tell you how to be a strong person that raises a strong family unit if I don't have a daughter that I take care of, that I'm the reflection of the man that I would want her to marry? How can I give you advice on how you could be successful if I am not respectively successful? Would you want a content creator that is no good at content, teaching you how to create content? Absolutely not. And so I would love to vet these people that talk like this and have so much disrespect for the American culture when your parents came over here. And I'm trying to figure out, and there's nothing wrong with coming over here because I absolutely believe in legal migration, but I'm always wondering, was your parents even here legally? I'm just asking a question because she volunteered the information.
To this crazy platypus of a country cobbled together by people from everywhere and with its tortured history, but also so much potential. It is not crazy to believe. It's not crazy to dream. In fact, it's kind of sad not to. And Kamala Harris lived up to our dreams. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. She ran a remarkable 107-day emergency campaign full of joy and hope. She and Tim Walz raised $1 billion in a couple of months, and she whipped Trump in their one and only debate. And yesterday, at her alma mater, Howard University, Kamala Harris, first of her name, did something Donald Trump would never do. She conceded graciously and vowed to conduct a peaceful transfer of power.
And Joe did that.
Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power.
Imagine that. She also spoke directly to young Americans who chose her at a rate of 54 to 43% over Donald Trump for 18 to 29-year-olds and 49 to 48% for voters 30 to 44, according to the NBC exit polls. And particularly millennial and Gen Z women who went 61-37 in her favor for 18 to 29-year-olds and 54-43 from age 30 to 44. Millions of college students, recent graduates, and young Americans who put their faith in her.
Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power.
And make no mistake, fam, it is young Americans, not those of us in Gen X or boomers or retired silent generation folks who are the economically insecure. Young Americans are the ones who can't afford to buy a home or start a business or a family. They are the ones who have economic anxiety, not the people of my generation, Gen X, many of whom have savings in the bank and bitch about the economy while planning overseas vacations. Yet it was the hip hop and Hulk Hogan generation, the F your feelings latchkey kids who came up on Dynasty, Dallas, and The Apprentice, who were the lone age group that voted in a majority for Trump. A majority of Gen X voted to turn America into an autocracy and to condemn our kids and grandkids to a far-right Supreme Court, probably for the rest of their lives. And it was not just Gen X. Because while 91% of black women voted for Kamala Harris, 53% of white women overall voted for Trump.
Let me give him a round of applause. The Trump, let me get a women that held it down, a round of applause. Let me see, this says white, Trump, Latino. I don't understand the Trump part. Says, should that say black? Somebody actually did this wrong. Now, I'm not the sharpest knife in the tool shed, but somebody actually did this wrong. Trump is on their mind so much that they don't even know how to write this. This is supposed to be black. 91% of women voted for Trump. Of black women voted for Harris, I mean. So this middle part is supposed to be, yes, this is a typo. Come on, MSNBC. Y'all can't get this together? Y'all producers, is that off? That's why a lot of these producers is getting fired. This is supposed to say black. This is not supposed to say Trump. All right, so now let's look at it. Harris got 53% or 45% of the white vote, 91% of the black vote, and 60% of the Latino vote. Yes, they did put it on air, Doug. This is so dumb. So now you see that women was trying to drag us back in, or drag us into the dark ages. All right?
Despite the open disrespect and demonization hurled by J.D. Vance and the Supreme Court stripping.
Black women, y'all really voted at a 91% clip for Kamala Harris? Ugh. Y'all want me to go visit Africa? Nope. 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 If this is the representation of what the culture is supposed to be, then I don't want any parts of it. I only want to rock with the people that align with my values. If 91% of black women voted for Kamala Harris, if we had left it up to y'all, we would straight up be oppressed for the next 4 years. This is insane. White women, y'all almost need to be held accountable. Latino women, that's because y'all think that y'all black.
Women's bodily autonomy, courtesy of Donald Trump, who closed his repulsive campaign by dropping the B word on Nancy Pelosi. The breakdown by education was stark. Harris won 57% of white women with college degrees and lost 63% of white women without them. It was also men. Trump won every age group of men, including 60% of Gen X men and 6 in 10 white men.
What did I say was going to happen? What did I say was going to happen? Who did I say was going to carry this election? White men. Who did I say was going to carry this election? White men and white people. I said it. I said that y'all focusing too much. The Democrats was focusing too much on diversity, equity, and inclusion. They was focused too much on trying to legalize weed for black men on the federal level. They were focused too much on the AKAs and the Divine Nine. It was focused too much on them. The reality is that you didn't speak to the demographic that actually mattered. When I seen Trump come here for the first time, I actually seen it while I was living downtown. And they had a rally at former Cobo, which is now Huntington Place. And I seen the people that were going to the rally and what they were dressed like, and they all had on blazers and slacks. and they had on their red hats to make America great again, I said, oh, it's about to be a red wave. We taking our masculinity back. We taking our masculinity back. Now, guess what the caveat to this is? Black men, the only thing that's weird about this, and this is how you know most of us is henpecked, black men actually voted at a 78% clip for Kamala Harris. I said, get out of here. Get out of here. It's only 22% of us. It's less than a quarter of us that actually got our balls. We still got our balls. We didn't get our balls clipped.
Also Latino men who, despite the utter disrespect shown by...
Look at that. Look at black men. We the only weak link in this thing. How are we the weak link? Look at that number. Well, at least y'all ain't got to worry about women getting mad at y'all because now y'all can still be being captive inside of your relationship. Black men, what the hell is going on? What do y'all think? What was y'all thinking? Because see, y'all want to act like Anton is out of his mind. He don't really know. He not really aware. No, I think it was way more black men. The numbers is telling you right now in the exit poll, black men at a 77, 78% rate, and black women at a 91% clip decided that they wanted to vote for Kamala Harris, which roughly equaled somewhere around 85 to 88% of all black people put together, woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to stroll to the polls. What are y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking? Y'all deserve everything that y'all get in y'all neighborhoods. And they shouldn't even try to save y'all. Let's save yourself.
Trump and his promise to deport some of your mixed status families, most of them voted in a 55% majority to make the deportations happen. Y'all voted with Stephen Miller and David Duke and against your own sisters and chose Kamala Harris with 60% of their votes. So you own everything that happens to your mixed status.
Aaron L. says, they blame men, but 10 million more women voted. I don't care. I don't care. All I do is I look at the numbers and I make an assessment. Then that's even worse. Because of the men that did vote, of the black men that did vote, 77 to 78% of them actually strolled to the polls. They went in backwards. It's crazy.
Status families, and to your wives, sisters, and abuelas from here on in. However, we only have so much time for blame. We now need to make a plan. Because Donald Trump's spokesperson has already confirmed that upon taking office at noon on January 20, 2025, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, he will begin the mass deportation of up to 11 million immigrants who are living and working in America.
Well, you better hope your clearance is legal.
To put Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in charge of at least parts of our health care, which could deprive millions of Americans of life-saving vaccines. And he and his people will implement Project 2025, something he pretended he didn't know anything about when he was lying to you on the campaign trail.
Trump has never, under any circumstance, ever mentioned being a part of or aligning with Project 2025. This is why these people need to get off of TV. This is why these people need to get off TV, because they are liars. This is why their ratings is plummeting. I expect within the next 2 years, if they don't hold her up as a diversity, equity, and inclusion hire, that Joy Reid will probably be going the way of all the rest of these people and trying to create their own podcast. I think that they are some of the most despicable people on TV, and they often at times try to incite violence and racism, and they're some of the most divisive people that I've ever seen in my entire life. And until we call it out and stop being on code, because she don't know you, she ain't never gonna kick it with you, she don't align with you, we don't even know if her parents came into here legally, they are going to continue to be the most divisive people, and they are the problem, not the solution.
When he wasn't, pretending to fillet a microphone or rambling for hours in front of sparse crowds. Cue the national abortion ban via the Comstock Act as well. And then there are the tariffs, which will make the price of everything soar.
All lies.
While he and Elon Musk grift money out of our economy to share with their fellow billionaire friends, while mainly Gen Z and millennial Americans and retirees feel the pain. So here we are. And what I can tell you is what I plan to do. And what I plan to do is to refuse to take the knee or be silent. Because when an autocracy begins to form, it is really important that the press, to the extent it can, continue to speak, continue to inform people about what is happening, and to give you the means and the strategies to resist and survive. It is important that civil society and the arts continue to speak, that individual citizens remain vigilant and not back down or cower in fear. So that is what I and the team here at the Reid are going to do. We will make sure you stay informed, forewarned, and equipped to survive whatever he and his MAGA cronies try to do to the people in this country.
These people can't get no visibility without the advertisement of MSNBC, and I am going to be elated as we continue to erode their viewership and destroy their platforms by outperforming them, having better narratives, better analysis, covering things objectively, letting you know when we then say it's our opinion versus it's the truth, okay? And we want to make sure that every single day we are going to hold these people accountable for spewing hateful rhetoric on the internet and then still being able to have a job, whereas if it was somebody else of a different color of their skin that was saying the similar thing, then they would be fired immediately and they would be calling for a job. But they allow for this woman to continue to come over here, benefit off of everything that's happening that Americans built for her, and then she's over here trying to incite violence and empty rhetoric that is not going to be beneficial for you or your family or anybody else that follows or watches MSNBC. I will be glad when this network absolutely, positively start cleaning house, because eventually it's going to go the same way as MSNBC.